Hello everyone, it's PT here, and in today's video we'll be looking at the RSI indicator and breaking down how it's basically predicted every cycle top and bottom, as well as we'll be analyzing the 4-year cycle and breaking down what has happened in each of the previous cycles. So stay tuned for that, guys, and let's get straight into it. So to begin with, let's start to talk about the RSI. Now the RSI is a momentum oscillator that measures the recent price change as it moves between the 0 and 100 level. Now basically what this RSI is telling us is that when it goes below the 30 band here, the market is oversold, and if it goes above the 70, the market is overbought. So it's relatively simple to understand. But the interesting thing about the RSI is it has allowed us to predict when each of the cycle top and bottom has been for Bitcoin. So let's break down the 2013 top in November. We can see that the RSI also topped out. Same can be said with the 2017 top. The RSI also topped out, and finally the previous cycle top in March, which actually the actual top was in October, which was at 69, but I believe the true top was in March. This was just a level of distribution, final off-selling of their market makers and institutional positions. But anyways, so we can see that each cycle top has been met with the RSI on a monthly time frame being topped out. Now, the cycle bottoms has also been predicted by the RSI. So anytime the RSI has gone below the 50 middle band here, we can see that the market has made a cycle low, which was in 2015 here. We got a peak below the 50 band, and then the market significantly rallied from there. In 2019, the market bottomed. We can see that if you were buying just as if the RSI went below this 50 band, you would have been in a great position to ride this move past the previous cycle high and make a considerable amount. Now, same can be said in this current cycle. We bottomed out in November, and the RSI also went below the 50 band. So if you had been buying in this period from June to February, that would have been a great opportunity to then catch this move to the upside where we broke the previous all-time high and making roughly 356%. So just looking at the RSI, we can see that it's provided a great indicator, or a great measure, I should say, of when to buy and sell this asset class. So that's something to look out for now. In its current price action, we can see that the RSI did go above the 70 band, but we didn't get that massive green upthrust as what we did in the last 3 cycles here. So what I'm expecting here is one more final upthrust, which takes us to the $100,000 to $120,000 level. And that is where I believe where the cycle top will be. Now, we have seen some sideways consolidation here for the last 4 months, which is actually really, really good for Bitcoin. And I've actually been considerably bullish based on this current price action, because what people don't realize is from the cycle bottom here all the way to this cycle top, which broke out of the previous all-time high, that took 456 days, and roughly 336% was gained. That's a significant move to make in the market. So the market has to reset its sentiment before making a final move. So things work in wave patterns and things work in fractals as well. What happens on a lower time frame happens on a bigger time frame, but obviously at a larger scale. And why I think we are significantly more bullish on Bitcoin is that So Bitcoin formed the ABC, which is the corrective wave, which caused the market to bottom out. And the ABC pattern looks like this. So we had our wave 1 here, which is the wave A, B, correction, little upthrust. And then we had our final wave C here, which was an ABC pattern. Now, the bullish thing about Bitcoin is that we actually are in a 5-wave structure to the upside on a monthly time frame, which gives me more confidence to believe that we have one more move to the upside before making a significant downturn. So we had the wave 1 here, wave 2 correction, wave 3 breaking out of the previous all-time high, wave 4 correction, and wave 5. So that's where I think the price is heading, somewhere between 100 and 115 or 20,000. Now moving on to the next chart we'll be looking at is the 4-year cycle and what has happened from the bottom to breaking out of the cycle. So we can see here that in the earlier cycle, Bitcoin took roughly 790 days from the bottom to break out of the previous cycle high, and in the next cycle it took from the bottom to the previous cycle high 700 days. Now from this bottom to the current cycle high, which was at 72,000, it only took 486 days to break above the previous cycle high at 69,000, which is interesting to me because we have a pattern at play here, and the pattern at play is that it's taken roughly 700 days or more to break out of the previous all-time high, but this current cycle did it in 486 days. Now this can be a testament to the ETF inflow and how much people were buying at the time, which caused this price to significantly rise. So that's something to consider as well. From the cycle bottom to each of the cycle highs, Bitcoin has taken roughly 1,065 days from this first cycle to make the high. And same can be said with the second cycle. It has taken roughly 1,066 days to make the high, which is interesting because these cycles have literally mimicked each other from the bottom to the top perfectly in terms of a time frame. So if we were to expect the same, and if the history was to repeat itself, we could see Bitcoin topping out at roughly 1,060 days, which takes us to October 2025. So if you zoom out and understand the macro perspective and what's at play here, we can see that Bitcoin significantly has a lot more room to rally and make its all-time high. So this current price action, this sideways consolidation, is just something not to worry about, and we have to zoom out and understand the bigger picture. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, brush your hair.